class. So this is part 2 of lecture 1, and this is going to be solely on the anxiety exercises that you need to complete for your assignment for week 1. As I stated before, there's 4 exercises that you're going to need to complete in your video submission. The first one, if you remember from part 1, I mentioned it, it's called Shake It Out. And this has to do with taking your negative energy or your nervousness and turning it into a positive. As I stated, a lot of times people get a little shaky when they get nervous, right? Well, if you get that little nervousness, it's literally, as the name says, shake it out. So you want to just shake it out. And it's not just in your arms, it's your whole body. So you just want to shake it out, okay? Literally shake it out. You see athletes do this all the time. You see them do this on the sidelines, right? Or right before a game. Same thing in speech. You do it before your speech or when you get a moment by yourself. You literally just shake it out, okay? What it does is it helps to release that adrenaline rush that you get. Remember, I said you get an adrenaline rush, it has to do with the fight or flight response. That's what causes that shaking. That's what causes that negative nervousness. When you shake it out, it turns that negative into a positive. You're helping to relax your muscles. That's exercise 1, shake it out. The second exercise, you guys have probably used it before in other cases. Here's another one. It's the deep breathing. So what you want to do is, you want to put your legs about shoulder length apart, relax your arms at your sides. And all you're going to do is, you're going to take a deep breath in with your nose, put your arms up as you go. Hold it for about 3 seconds, and then release it and bring your arms out. And release it through your mouth. Do it again. And again. And third one. Why deep breathing is important? 1, it helps to get a lot of good oxygen into your lungs, so you're nice and repaired. The other thing it does, it gets the blood flowing, which is really good. The best thing it does for you is it stops you from potentially hyperventilating, which can happen if you get really, really nervous. Hyperventilating is what happens when you don't get in enough oxygen and you have way too much carbon dioxide in your system. Basically, you are exhaling more than you're inhaling. So taking deep breaths will help with that. Also, another way to help calm you down. The third exercise. This one can be done standing or sitting. It's a real easy one. It has to do with your hands. It's basically hand stretches. So what you're going to do is, you're going to squeeze your hands really tight together in a fist. Really, really, really tight. As tight as you can do it. Okay? And you're going to hold it there for just a few seconds, maybe 5-10 seconds. And then once you're done with that, you're going to release it really, really quickly. And you're going to stretch your hands out, stretch your fingers out as far as you can. Okay? And you're going to do that for a few seconds, and then again, squeeze them real tight again together. And then release them. Squeeze them. And release them. And squeeze them. And release. And what you should be feeling as you're doing this is that your muscles, you should be feeling them tighten up. And then, of course, releasing, stretching. You're actually, 1, helping to strengthen those muscles in your fingers with the flexors and the extenders. But you're also, again, helping to release potentially negative energy that helps to cause any shaking. And you're helping to relax your muscles. Another technique to help avoid any anxiety or get rid of any anxiety. The last exercise, and this is probably the silliest one, at least that's what the students tell me. However, this is an exercise that can help in terms of improving projection or volume. If you've ever been in a choir or sang, if you've ever played an instrument, if you've ever performed in theater, if you've ever done any cheering, you will probably know what I'm talking about when I say about this. has to do with an organ in our body called the diaphragm. That's that little disc that is underneath our lungs. So right about in line with the bottom of our rib cage, okay? It's the area that, if you've ever performed the Heimlich or you've learned CPR, where you're told to push up with your fist. You're pushing on the diaphragm then. I don't want you to actually push in, okay? I'm doing it as an explanation right now of what I'm talking about. But when you perform the Heimlich, you're actually pushing on the diaphragm up, because what that does is it pushes up into your lungs to push out air, okay? That's what the diaphragm does. It helps to push out more air out of the lungs. And the more you strengthen the diaphragm, the better you get at learning how to talk by pushing more air out of your lungs, which makes it easier to talk louder without straining your vocal cords. So what you want to do is that you want to find that spot. So you find the bottom of your sternum and kind of roll your hand down. Lay your hand flat there. You might even feel it moving a little bit, especially if you talk with your diaphragm. Again, legs shoulder width apart roughly, okay? Just put your hand there, and then what you're going to do is you want to take a breath in, and then as hard as you can go, and as you do that, you want to feel your muscles in your core or right around your diaphragm tighten up, okay? And that sound should feel that muscle tightening up, all right? And that sound should feel like it's, as you hear, sound a little bit of a lower tone than your regular tone for your speaking voice. That's letting you know that your diaphragm, it shouldn't be higher tone, because that's then using your vocal cords. You're going to strain your vocal cords. It should be a lower tone. And I want you guys to practice this at least 5 times. So, okay? Keep doing that if you can at home or wherever you feel comfortable doing it, and it will help you to improve your projection or volume, especially those of you that are soft-spoken or easily potentially lose your breath easy, or maybe have a higher pitch as it is, or a higher tone in your voice. That will help you to get better at improving that projection, and also not make it so hard on your vocal cords when you need to talk louder. So those were the 4 exercises. I look forward to watching your videos for your submission and seeing you guys do these. I'm sorry we won't get to do them in class together, but I do look forward to seeing your assignment submissions.